Welcome to Unlocking Human Potential with me, your host, Andy Hosgood, a podcast dedicated to exploring what really takes psychologically, behaviourally and practically to help humans thrive through conversations with leaders, founders, coaches, behavioural experts and people shaping how humans perform and grow. Is this for you? But if you're a leader, a founder, a business owner, an ambitious professional who wants to do more than just perform, they want to grow, inspire, bringing the best out of yourself and the people around you, then the mission is simple: to explore how individuals and teams unlock potential in themselves, in others, and the organisations they shape. Each episode is a deep but relaxed conversation built around three core questions. How do we optimise ourselves? How do we unlock potential in others? And what's the best advice that our guests can give to you, the listener? So now over to this episode. I really hope you find it helpful and insightful. David.
Morning, Andy.
Morning. Thank you very much for joining me today.
Pleasure. Good to see you.
So welcome to the Unlocking Human Potential podcast with me, Andy Hosgood. So today's guest proves that unlocking human potential doesn't always start in the boardroom. Sometimes it starts in a salon chair with great conversation and a pair of scissors. David Thomas is the founder of David Thomas Hairdressing, an award-winning salon built on far more than clinical or technical, shall I say, excellence. Yes, the hair is exceptional and it looks wonderful today. But what really sets David apart is his belief that people are the real craft. David is a salon owner, leader, mentor, educator, and has spent years building a culture where creativity, confidence, and human connection comes first. He understands that performance, whether in business, leadership, or life, is deeply psychological and emotional and not just technical. Through his work, David has helped teams grow not only in skill but in self-belief, ownership, and pride in what they do. He leads with warmth, clarity, high standards, proving that you don't have to choose to be being kind and commercially successful. What I love about David is this: he gets that leadership isn't about titles or ego, it's about how you make people feel, how safe they feel to grow, and how well they help them to become more who they really want to be. Today we'll explore David optimises himself, how he unlocks potential in others, and the practical lessons he's learned from leading humans in high-pressure, high-performance industry. So if you care about culture, emotional intelligence, and leading, you're going to love this conversation. So let's get into it.
Right.
How was that for an introduction, all right?
Yeah, good.
It was really hard. I mean, we've known each other a long time, and one of the things that, you know, your career has spanned 40 years?
50.
50 years?
Yeah.
So
the salon's been 40.
You're right.
So 55.
Right, okay. You know, and your career is unbelievable what you've done over that time. So I'm really looking forward to exploring a lot of that. So what we always start with our guests is something that you're curious about right now. So what are you curious about at the moment after 55 years in the profession?
Well, I've found out that I've got motor neurons, and unfortunately, I can't close my scissor hand.
Okay.
So I'm working on clippering hair.
Okay.
But not clippering off like Andy's. So working on ladies' hair.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be a bit different. But
okay.
I like the challenge of that. So yeah, that's a big thing. Because I don't want to give up hairdressing, because I've loved it since 1976.
Wow, that's brilliant. All right, cool. So that's interesting. So you're having to learn how to a whole different way of cutting.
Completely. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
And finding the right tools, and So yeah, I'm excited to do that.
Never stop learning, do you?
No, you don't. And the thing is with creativeness, when people start, they tend to box layers.
Okay.
And you've got a round head. So I work with round layers and interlocking layers, so we can do clippers.
All right. Okay. Oh, cool.
Definitely.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's no help for me, but
No.
I'm really curious where that goes. That's brilliant. So I'm going to also add a curiosity question, if that's all right to start. What made you choose hairdressing?
Well, my dad was a detective superintendent in charge of the murder squad in the 70s.
Oh, wow, okay.
And his best mate was a lawyer, but he had a much nicer car, nicer house, and all I wanted was a nice house and a nice car. So Mr. Bowman, careers teacher, 1976, when I left school, said, Thomas, what do you want to do when you leave school? I said, a lawyer. He said, Thomas, you're too thick, lad. Get yourself to Blackburn Tech.
Right.
So I went to Blackburn Tech, had a wander around the mechanics place, bricklayers, joiners, not for me. I went in the salon, the hairdressing salon, and it was full of good-looking girls and disco music. So I thought, that's for me.
Okay, that was it. That was the winning.
And I'm not saying anything about blow drying.
No, let's keep that. Okay, awesome. All right, so that was it. It wasn't. There was no real driven. It was just a.
1976.
You were told that I can't be a lawyer, so
Yeah.
therefore I need to find another profession.
Exactly.
Actually, this looks a better environment
Yeah.
than that over there. So I'm
And
gonna
then
roll with
I
this.
managed to get an apprenticeship in the middle of Leyland.
Right.
And it was a really nice salon, ahead of its time. And the owner was a really good haircutter. So I was lucky to get in there.
And it's what's been quite interesting about a lot of these conversations we're having is there are those moments, I think, at the start of our careers where we do come across somebody that's quite influential.
Yeah.
Is that's come across in what you've just, is that fair?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the other thing, I don't believe in talent.
Okay.
I believe in skills. So you can learn the skills, but you get better if you start to love it. And that was where I was very fortunate.
Just driven by the passion.
Yeah, because I like social, and the ladies in the salon were very social. And I had a few incidents, but anyway, that's another story.
Right, we'll quickly move on and then we'll see if any of those stories or incidents come up. So the idea of this podcast is kind of in three parts. The part one is, over your career, what would be really interesting in is what you've done to keep yourself optimal and keep that enthusiasm and passion driven, and already that's coming across, so I'm really looking to explore that. And then, one of the things I know is that you've traveled a lot and you've inspired lots of other people. So it'd be interesting to explore then, what's helped or what advice have you got for unlocking potential in others? So, especially around, if you're saying there's an element around, it's not always about talent, it's about skill. How do we help people to build that confidence? That'd be cool. And then what I always think is if listeners are dedicating an hour or so to this conversation, I think what would be really helpful if we could then kind of summarize and kind of bring in, okay, so the so what piece. So what great stuff can people then do to either find that passion in themselves or to inspire others to find that passion in themselves? Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
But let's start with you. So my curiosity, let's start with what have you done over the last 55 years of your career, but 40 years of the business?
I started as an apprentice.
Yeah.
And finished that was 18. So I did 2 years as a stylist in the salon, and then I went mobile,
Right.
which was unusual in 1980. And I did 5 years of mobile, and I was up early at people's houses at 7 o'clock and at houses at 8 o'clock at night.
Okay.
Before and after work. So, but I learned to love it, and I built up a clientele. And then 85, I opened my first salon. And I was 25, and the salon was very different to everywhere else because I like things right.
Okay.
And a bit different. So we opened the salon in 1985, and I took 3 girls on, nice girls, all right at what they did, but they needed to learn more creativeness. So I took them down to London to Trevor Sorby's new academy, and Trevor Sorby's passed away now, but he was the best hairdresser in the world.
Right.
Full stop. So we went there, and he was working there, and it was a big thing because there was an audience of learners like us.
Right, okay.
And we had to introduce ourselves. So one person said, I'm an artistic director for a company of 12 salons
Okay.
from South Africa. And then there was somebody else from Holland, somebody else from New York. And then it came to me, I've got a salon in Leyland in Lancashire. But
Okay.
we were as good
Yeah.
as them.
Yeah.
And then we learnt so much.
That's right.
So it was inspirational.
So what made you different then? You said that you were a bit different. What was it that made you different to others at that time?
Well, we were smarter.
Okay.
The salon was uncluttered, and lots of the salons in Leyland from the 70s were, very cluttered and needed doing up. So we were out there really,
Right.
in a
okay.
nice way,
Yeah.
and not frightening, putting people off, inviting people in.
And I guess then, if you don't mind leaning into that a little bit, it's just a curiosity of going, what part of you? Because obviously you're saying there's a you could have just opened the shop and gone, well, I'll see what everyone else is doing, but you've then almost chose to go, oh gosh. So what was it about you that felt that it needed to be different? What made you unique?
Well, at the time, everything was changing.
Okay.
Music, everything.
Right.
So at the time, it was, hair was very different. So we learned different hairstyles.
Okay.
And we were out there with it. And then once we'd done this training and we were more confident, we started doing client evenings in the salon.
Right. Okay.
So we'd invite 6 in and we'd do a little hair show.
Okay.
And that's how we developed. And
Oh,
then we
nice.
started doing stuff for the paper. So that's where the salon built.
Stuff for the paper, as in the newspapers? So
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. Newspapers and, magazines. Yeah.
And where do you think this belief has come from? That because obviously that's quite. I'm assuming it's quite a brave thing looking back. That at that age.
Well, I just did stuff.
Okay.
And, you go to the bank manager for a loan for a new salon.
Yeah.
And then 2 years down the line, he rang me and said, will you come in and see me, David?
Okay.
And he offered me more money to open another one.
Okay.
So 2 years down the line, I opened in Chorley.
Right.
And I moved the best stylist to the manager and we recruited more staff. So we expanded. And then another 2 years on, got another phone call and we opened in Preston.
Right.
So we had 3 salons and then it multiplied.
And how was that transition for you then? Because obviously, one of the things, and what I love about these conversations, what I love about founder based, is they've got this, unique vision, and it sounded like you did. You saw things differently from others. You've then leaned into that, and then the fact that you were, taking your staff down to London.
Yeah.
With
every year we did it,
which I get the assumption that's quite unique for a lot of them to do.
Yeah.
So obviously you were an outliner within that at the time. How then you start to expand? So you've gone from 1 shop to 2 to 3 to more.
But the other thing was, we were higher priced.
Okay.
And we told people what we were doing.
Yeah.
So we could value that. And also, if you don't pay the price, you can't have your team going on training in London.
Yeah.
So it was priority that. So the prices were set and then they went up every year.
And how did you then, what was the change in you from obviously a hairdresser that's cutting? And then, like we started the conversation, you're still cutting. You're having to change the style and the way you do it at the moment. But then having to be, there's the shop owner, and the business owner, and then there's I have to now train my staff, But now I've got 2 shops, so now I've got managers, and now So how did you feel you developed those skills personally?
What happened when we got the 3rd shop in Preston? I came across a company who did tills, which were they had a button for cut and blow dry, whatever you could have. And so we had a central computer.
Okay.
So we had an office in Chorley. So I managed the finance that way.
Yeah.
But then training wise, we did once a month
Okay.
for the stylists. And we did it a different salon every time. So Preston one time, Chorley another time, Leyland another time.
Nice.
And it kept the teams together.
Yeah.
And we shared skills.
That's nice.
So I would supervise what they were going to do.
Yeah.
And then they present it to the other two salons.
And just on that, how do you create that kind of thinking about what skills did you bring then, do you think, to allow the culture for people to, because obviously people then wanted to join, yeah.
Yeah.
What was it, what do you think it was about you that people wanted to?
I started doing things for Ladies Circle, ladies groups.
Right.
Like little shows and stuff. So it gave me the confidence and it built up a clientele.
Right.
And I involved the teams. So if we were doing it in Leyland, I'd involve the Leyland team. So it was like that. So we just got the word out.
Yeah.
And they loved it because nobody else was doing it.
And you know, there's an underlining when you're talking there. There's a smile, isn't there?
Oh,
you know, I can see that, you know, the
Yeah.
enjoyment that you've got even when you're reflecting back
Yeah.
on those times.
And the thing was, it was a small audience.
Okay.
But then I got pulled over by Weller.
Yeah.
And they wanted to do a couple of big shows.
Okay.
So that was nerve-wracking. So I needed to have some training to present, and Weller trained me to present.
Do you want? Can we just explore that part of your career?
Yeah.
So go on. So when Weller, obviously, the products are wasted on me, but I'm very familiar with them. So they're a big company,
Massive company, and they have probably the best colour in the world.
Okay.
Colliston, but again in the 80s, they still have a training academy in Manchester.
Right.
So I was a guest stylist.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And I got paid for that.
Oh, cool.
So sometimes there'd be 20 there, sometimes there'd be 80.
Wow.
So, you know, it puts you under pressure.
Yeah.
But in a good way.
Okay.
Because I like that pressure, a challenge. And the biggest thing with me, Andy, is I can't say the word that starts in N and ends in O.
Okay. So is that, so there's a positive of that, but also there can be a negative to that as well, can't there?
So I got asked, will you demo French pleat, which is a hair up?
Right.
Yeah. Couldn't do one.
Okay.
So I had to go back to the salon to practice and I did it.
So, okay, let me just rewind. So you've got one of these biggest companies that have asked you to, can you come and do some demos for us? Which one you were a little bit unsure of and a bit certain, but they was like, no worries, we'll train you how to present.
Yeah.
They asked you to do a style that you said yes to, but actually you didn't have the foggiest clue.
And there was no YouTube then.
So it was back to the salon, let's practice this to make sure I can do it well.
Yeah.
And is there a train of throughout your career like that, or is that
absolutely
okay?
So I ended with Wrightington Salon, which is where you've got
that's how we met,
and Lytham Salon.
Yeah.
So I ended with 5 salons, and I got approached by GHD.
Okay.
And they wanted 9 salons around the UK as academies.
Right.
So we had a big salon in Preston. We turned the middle floor into an academy.
Right, okay.
Still a salon, but we dropped down screen and stuff like that. And so the idea was 9 academies doing 9 seminars, but I'd ended up doing 16. So at the end of that, they dragged me in and said, what would you do if we wanted to launch the education programme worldwide? I said, well, if you like my academy, I'd lift the Preston Academy up and take it wherever you wanted. Right. So that's what we did.
Wow.
And they asked me to go to Australia
Okay.
for 5 nights.
For 5 nights?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I did.
Well, without saying, because we've already said you're not very good at saying no.
No. Anyway, I got paid a lot of money as well.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah. And flown first class.
Wow.
And I did it twice. So, and that then started me being really busy with seminars. And I got calls from independent salons who wanted to come to the salon and me do a day for them, or me go there. So it was, yeah.
And how do you balance all this?
You don't, do you?
Okay, I don't know. I'm just curious
You
about how
don't.
you've done. I'll be honest with you. Listening to this, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it feels like
I mean,
there's so much going on.
my eldest son was in a pushchair, Matthew.
Okay.
So I used to ride it out and I'd it on the back of the pushchair and walk down the canal, and he'd go asleep because he was bored out of it.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, just practicing.
Just going with it.
So we did a day. I'd do 2 haircut demos,
Right.
explain them in the morning, and then lunch provided for them, and then they'd do a haircut in the afternoon, which we supervised. And I would always use one of my team to help me.
Okay. So
they were learning as well.
Yeah, I like that.
And the big thing is, when you're doing work for a big company, it's set what you do.
Okay.
So it's rigid. So you do a long hair or you do a short hair. And but the great thing is, when you see people coming on the course, they do it the same sectioning pattern, but they do it different.
Right.
You learn.
So you're learning as well?
Absolutely.
Oh, right. Okay.
And the thing for me is, I would never criticise anybody that came on a course.
Okay.
I'd always guide them and encourage them if there was something wrong. But they're paying to come on. And the big thing is, you want your team to go back confident.
Yeah.
You know. So that was my thing. Show them a new idea, but build the confidence up. Have a laugh with them. Make it fun.
And is that kind of a theme through your teams, where you've obviously in the salons, but then also as a trainer? Was that a theme that you kind of pulled into both? Yeah.
Because we ended up doing level 2 and level 3 training apprentices in the academy. So yeah, it was definitely a thing.
And was that unique at the time, or was that normal?
I think we were unique in our area.
Yeah.
But the other people I worked with, some were similar.
Right, okay.
And some weren't.
And so, you know, obviously for me, you know, where did you get to travel to? What was like? And you went to Australia. So as part of your training academy, was that around the UK, or did you have to go into Europe? Or
I did stuff for salons in the UK.
Right.
But also I worked in Holland.
Okay.
A bit. Italy.
Wow.
We did a hair show for a company called Alterna in Turin.
Oh, nice.
For 5,000 people.
You're on stage in front of 5,000 people?
Yeah.
Cutting hair?
Yeah.
How was that?
Amazing.
Yeah?
Because it's the same.
Okay.
In some ways, it's easier with a bigger mass.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're sat there, you'll be going,
Yeah.
David, what are you doing?
Yeah, okay.
But it doesn't happen like that.
Okay, so there's...
You're demoing.
Yeah. And how did you, you know, obviously, again, you know, looking at you and you're smiling about that, and how did you feel that development from that first moment where Weller turned around and said, well, you can do us a favour and come and teach for us, to then being in Turin in front of 5,000 people?
Well, the first seminar I did, I was really nervous.
Yeah.
And Kathy, who worked for Weller, it was actually at Northcote Manor.
Oh, nice, yeah.
And she said, David, I'm going to go and get you a brandy at 7:30 in the morning to calm your nerves.
Brilliant.
And that
Secret to success.
Yeah.
Brandy.
Calm down.
Yeah. Okay.
You know.
Just gave you that moment.
Yeah.
And did that then come over with time? You just became familiar?
Yes, more, but I was always nervous. But I learnt. So if you were working with me and you said, "David, I'm nervous," are you nervous? And I might be nervous, but
Yeah.
I'd say, "No, I'm really looking forward to it, Andy.
Right.
You're good at what you do."
Yeah.
Oh, and then all of a sudden it'd turn, and when you went out, the two of you were on it as a team, and you knew that because I always used to say, I've done more shows.
Yeah.
So if you're nervous I'll fill in for you.
So even though you were also nervous, by actually having a conversation with somebody else that was supporting you, that was nervous, motivating them almost, helped you. That does seem to be a theme across the things that, you know, I get the impression that one of your, and we should have brought one of your stylists in just to get that 360 feedback. But that comes across in that things that you're very selfless. You seem to do a lot of things for other people.
Well, I've got two stylists now because I ended up franchising.
Yeah.
So I sold the franchises and I ended up with one salon in Preston.
Yeah.
And 6 years ago, I decided that Preston wasn't the place. And we moved to Birmingham.
Yeah.
So we've got a really lovely salon. And I've got two ladies that work for me 26 years.
Wow. Okay.
And they're like family. They are. But we don't use each other, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We still have business conversations.
Yeah.
But we support each other fully.
That says a lot, though, doesn't it? That someone's, willing to work. Because what is just for me and the listeners, what's curiosity? What is a normal life of somebody, a hairdresser, would stay in a salon?
Well, exactly. You know, the issue is they don't get paid enough.
Okay.
And mine are well paid.
Yeah.
And the reason they get well paid is they're very good at what they do.
Yeah.
They work hard. They're good with all the other clients, and they're amazing people. And I really would support them in any way.
So again, thinking about that, so that's a great caveat into the next kind of part of, how, a bit like when someone, that lady from Weller said to you, you'd obviously very talented at cutting hair, but then there's that next skill of going, okay, now I become a teacher and mentor, and then someone's had a conversation with you, bought you a brandy and said, you're going to be all good. Okay. So unlocked your potential as an educator and a mentor. Yeah. What then, what has over the 40 years of you having the salon, what would you say has been the key things to helping you get the best out of others? Because I'm assuming, and I'm happy to be kind of pushed back on this, but when someone's sat in a chair and again, the assumption is, let's say it's a female, there's a lot of trust that needs to be in the stylist or hairdresser.
Of course there is.
Because, it's a big part of the hairstyle's a big part of our identity, isn't it?
We were out with friends the other week, and they had friends who I know, but I'd not seen them for ages. And I was talking to Keith, and he said, David, you need to write a book because of the experience. Because when somebody's sat in the chair, the amount of things you learn off a client,
Yeah.
But they need to be confident in you. So when I learned something for a big company, the first thing I did was present it to the salon team.
Nice, okay.
Always. And show them. So they were always ahead of the game.
So you were modelling information that was, so you might have come across and you thought, oh, this will be brilliant. How do we then filter this down into them? And, one of the things you touched on earlier was even when you're in your training, you were always trying to compliment and support people. Absolutely. And never criticise.
Yeah.
How do we then, is it a natural thing you did to help build confidence in, because I'm assuming there's a style, do most stylists come in quite young and into the profession, or?
Yeah, we always took apprentices.
Okay.
But these days, is not the best thing.
Okay.
There's not many around.
Right.
So it's taking on stylists, but we always trade test them,
Yeah.
see if they fit in work-wise and personality-wise. So that's the start. But also, for me, the team we've got a young stylist, and we're building her up, confidence-wise.
And how do we do that, or how do you do that?
Talk to them.
Is it just conversation?
And also, if somebody's had a nice haircut, I'd say to her, that is amazing. And I'd say it in front of the client as well.
Okay.
So it builds them up big time.
Because I think it's important, and that, you know, part of my curiosity and part of the reason for this podcast is all around, you know, you've obviously got some skills that are quite natural.
Yeah.
You know, I think your passion, your compassion,
Yeah.
I think your passion for the thing, compassion for other people, and it's definitely come across, and that's probably part of the reason why you're very successful. The fact that you're comfortable drinking brandy at 7:30 in the morning and not saying no also probably quite helpful.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also it's an element of going that, you know, how do you then get that replicated in others? Because I still think that's a skill, isn't it? You know, there's going to be people from all different backgrounds, walks of life coming into the profession, and you seem to have got an ability to make an awful lot of those, you know, feel comfortable, feel safe.
I think it's. I mean, should I say about when we had the 5 salons? And
you can talk about it's all about you.
When we had the 5 salons, and I was travelling and uber successful.
Yeah.
At the front, but we were uber failing in the background with money.
Okay.
So now we've got 1 salon. We make more money than we did with 5. Can you believe that?
Yeah. Are you comfortable talking about that period? Because I think it's important, you know, when we talk around business, that business isn't it's not always linear, is it?
No.
You know, and we make decisions through our careers, which...
And the thing is now, if you've got 1 or 2, you're not so bad.
Yeah.
Because you can spend time with your team.
Okay.
And that is the priority.
So what have you learned from that time then that you could share with other people in business? That what was going wrong when you had 5?
Well, I tried to spend time with the managers.
Yeah.
But again, not enough time.
Okay.
So for me, I would go for a bigger unit, but still be in it.
Okay.
Myself, rather than 2 salons or 3 or 4. So I'd go for a bigger unit and have more in. And then you're about, because this morning I've been into the salon.
Right, okay.
Just to say hello.
Hello.
And have a coffee with them all. And they love it.
Yeah.
You know. So you know they're all right.
And do you think that was a part of, so when you had the 5 salons and things didn't go very well, or weren't going very well?
That was the problem.
That was the problem, just the lack of presence?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
And I think you've got to love what you do.
Yeah.
And when you love what you do, you've got to tell people.
Yeah.
You've got to tell. I mean, I say to clients, I love my clients, but you're not saying I love you, Andy, are you? Well, in a weird way.
No, yeah.
But do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
And then they go out and they say, and everybody's the same.
And that obviously then comes across, doesn't it, in how you make people feel? And I think that is...
It's part of the package
for
us, you know, and we have good music.
Right.
We have really good coffee machine. So we have great coffee and everything. You know, the salon's nice and warm, very comfortable, luxurious. We have great products. So everything's top end.
Yeah.
And we work hard at that. But then we're comfortable. People say to us when they come in, I love coming in here. It's like we're family.
And do you think that had been lost in that, you know, when you look at that 5 salons?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because the managers might not care as much.
Yeah.
You think they do, but for me, if the salon closes at 6, but we get out at 7, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because time costs nothing. But if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And a big thing.
And the reason why I'm kind of hanging on this topic, because I think a lot of people, like you say, see growth and development, especially in business, as, oh, if I've got more shops, more salons, more places, then that is, a definition of success. Well, what you're actually saying is, actually for you, that was part of the detriment that you had to then
absolutely
turn it around.
But the thing is, if you have a quiet day in the salon, which luckily we don't, but you can get one of the junior stylists over and say, watch this haircut. Ask the client if it's all right.
Right, yeah.
And very often they love it, the client. Same thing,
Okay. What would you have done differently if you had a time machine?
I would have had a general manager.
Okay.
Who managed the salons, and then I could just do creative.
Right.
Because there'd be two of you then. And I think that would have worked. I mean, we used to go away once a year with the franchisees.
Yeah.
But sometimes they were a bit razzed off.
Right.
Because they didn't see me enough.
Okay.
But,
And the reason why, again, is because I think it's really important, isn't it, when we scale and grow a business, that we recognise the pitfalls that we might not always see forward. And that's why these conversations are really important.
They are. They are really important. So the salon we had in Preston had upstairs 2 floors, which we didn't have.
Right.
But they came available. I took them.
Right. Okay. Someone asked you, and you went, "Oh, I can't say no."
Exactly.
Okay.
So that was a really good place,
right.
But it went tatty, didn't it, Preston?
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah.
But again, it's recognising. I think that one of the things I've picked up from you, one, obviously opportunities have presented themselves, and one of the things you've obviously been brave enough to just go yes to, or inability to say no. We can look at it in both ways, but still you were brave enough to take them. And I think a lot of people, how would your career have looked if you'd have said no to those opportunities?
And I think that the other thing, Andy, I enjoyed it. Yeah. Even though it was tough.
Yeah.
And, since I came out with this MNB, I've had a lot of cards off ex-members of staffs.
Right, okay.
And very kind.
Yeah.
But I think it's your passion. You've got to have passion for what you do.
And I use the analogy all the time is follow your energy.
Yeah.
Because I think it's what does energise you. And I even, from the conversations we've had, several over the years, and I've been very, very fortunate to be in your company quite a lot, and I think one of the things is the minute you talk about your profession, your job, your customers, your tempo goes up, your smile comes on your face, your body language is really, really positive, isn't it? And I think that is, and that's him saying, even 55 years from you walked into the salon with all of the girls and the flashy music.
It was a good day, that.
Yeah. But it's turned out a good day. It's turned out to a really good career, hasn't it? Obviously.
But the thing is with hairdressers as well, it's a creative job.
Yeah.
And that's what I love.
And where does it... So, again, coming back to kind of, how do we support that environment? Because, I don't know, maybe it's an assumption, so I'm going to play out loud and see where it lands with you. So, it also feels quite judgmental that, it's you are being judged on your creativity, your style, the haircut, your ability. Is that fair that we are, that people are judging you? I'm not saying you are, but within an industry, and then people feel judged on.
There is. And you see with clients, they go to some of the big companies.
Yeah.
And they don't feel welcome.
Yeah.
Don't feel at home. Don't feel looked after. So, I think you've got to do what you do.
Yeah.
And believe it. We've put boxes outside the salon with lavender in.
Okay.
And the reason is when people walk up to the salon, you've got the smell of lavender already.
Yeah.
And by the time they get there,
they're
liking it and they're relaxed. And that's what it's all about.
It's that attention to detail that is real. That it's those little things have raised up quite a lot over the last this bit of, just even this conversation,
Well,
hasn't
it's
it? Your
like I've
attention
got
to
a front of house, and she's 5 years younger than me, so she's 29. Wishing, but I knew her from being a teenager.
Okay.
Because her parents had a boutique in Leyland,
Right. Okay.
so I used to buy me stuff from there.
Yeah.
But Suzanne is really good on front of desk.
Right.
Not posh, but she's welcoming.
And how do we then? And again, the curiosity, because I know we talked about in the intro, and I know it's about there is a technical element to cutting hair.
Absolutely.
And and you say that that talent. Maybe it's not talent, maybe it's a skill that's developed over time with support and mentorship.
Yeah.
Although there's another part, isn't it? It's not just about you cutting hair and being robotic. You've also got to have a personality. You've also got to be warming. You've also got to have I would argue, the emotional intelligence to read a situation. So a client comes in and they're probably having a not good day or less good day.
Absolutely.
You've got to read that and adapt that.
Yeah, you have.
How do you then develop that in stylists?
I think it's practice.
Okay.
Definitely practice.
And is that something you need to encourage in others, or
we make them aware.
Right. Okay.
That our salon, we're bothered about them.
Yeah.
We take hair seriously.
Yeah.
We take the clients seriously, but then once we know what they want to do on that day, we can have fun with them.
And how do you then? I guess the curiosity, because I can see in that environment you're in, you've obviously created this great environment. You've obviously served some good staff, someone that have been with you 26 years, did you say? And obviously you've, even the front of house person you've known.
And she's been with us 11 years.
Yeah, so again, there's, so people obviously know your standards, they want to support you. If there's people listening now who are in, either got teams or building teams, is there any insights that you could kind of share with people listening to go, how can they then encourage that? Because, I'm not saying everyone listening is a stylist, but it's still a customer experience. It's still an ability to be able to have, most jobs, especially if you're customer facing, has to have ability of being technically competent. Yeah. Or maybe technically, excellent, depending on where they are in their career. But also they've got to have the ability to become that human connection piece, which is probably one of the reasons why we connect so much.
And one of the things is the 80-20 rule.
Okay.
So 20% is what you do.
Yeah.
And that is expected to be excellent.
Okay.
The 80% is the way you deliver it.
Right, okay.
And make sure that, it's delivered in a nice way, professional, but fun. So important that for me.
The 80% piece?
Yeah. Obviously, the 20%, it's got to be right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's no good being a lovely person, but actually being incompetent. Yeah, crap at cutting hair.
No, it doesn't work that.
No.
So we train them to get that right thing. And then you can have nice times.
But I think, and it's important that I share this because I think there's, especially in my world and from my experiences, there's sometimes an assumption that we teach the technical bit and actually the other part should then come. Whereas actually one of the things I use an awful lot in my career certainly is I think the technical bit is the bit that could be taught. And I think I actually look for the emotional intelligence as part of it, especially for me, the people I like to work with, the clients that I like to take on, they're already strong in that and passionate about that, and they've got that as a natural thing. And then how do we help support that? Yeah. Is that something when you're recruiting team members you're looking for as well? Or?
Absolutely. Okay. Priority.
So priority is less about the technical and more about the person?
Both.
Okay.
Because they do a trade test.
Right.
So interview.
Yeah.
Then we get them to do a trade test, and then we talk to them while they do. We don't sit over them, making them feel uncomfortable. But they're both a priority, and they definitely. Definitely.
I think it's so important, isn't it?
But the thing is, you can teach that as well.
Yeah.
We've done that.
Yeah.
You know, got the team together. When I had the salons, if they weren't performing, got them together and did talk through customer service. You know, and it does help.
I think it's essential.
It is massive.
Because, like you've said, it's the experience.
It's like clients walk in.
Yeah.
They've never been before.
Yeah.
They've booked on the phone. So we sit them down and Suzanne will go, "This is Andy who's doing your hair today." Because they'll sit there and they'll going, "Oh, who's doing my hair?" So they're worried, aren't they? Whereas if they know that Andy's doing your hair, they're comfortable.
Okay.
It's all the little things.
Yeah. And I think it's that, you know, I keep coming back to it, and one of the things that keeps rolling around my head is your attention to detail, looking at those little things from the lavender outside to the way, even when you're on stage in front of it's, you know, how you present yourself, how you make other people that you share on the stage feel comfortable, you know, how you're making people that you are training feel comfortable by the non-criticism. It's just those little nuances, isn't there?
Since COVID, we always wash every towel.
Okay.
But the gowns were reused.
Right.
Now every gown is washed, and we put a towel and a gown in a clean, like, pump bag.
Okay.
So they know that it's clean. So again, it's a comfort thing. And when they go to the chair, everywhere's immaculate. Everything's wiped down. And that's due to COVID. Keep it clean now, in a different way.
So even from the experience for a client walking into one of your salon or your salon at the moment, so they obviously see you putting a clean. It's quite a visual experience. So they straight away know, oh my gosh, this is attention to detail.
We get it out.
Yeah.
And they know it's clean.
I love that.
Yeah. Because the thing is, put a gown on, it's been on somebody's body, hasn't it?
But I guess I hadn't thought about that. But
little things,
you know, it is those, and again, it's the experience that goes with it that is important, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know,
and I went into the salon yesterday. Couldn't cut hair, but the amount of hugs I got is incredible. You know, and they're pleased to see you, as I'm pleased to see them as well.
But that's go on, sorry.
It works, doesn't it?
But I just think it's how you know, the saying, it's how you've treated people.
Yeah.
You know, you've obviously treated people with respect, with compassion.
Yeah.
You know, rather that being a customer that's paying to sit in the chair for, I don't know, however long you have to sit in the chair for. Me and Nick, it's not very long, is it? You know, but for others, I'm assuming that can be hours if they're having colours, they're having styles, stuff. So obviously
2 to 3 hours.
Oh wow, okay. So it's a long time to be in there. So
but all of us. So maybe you were having something with Gemma over the other side of the salon.
Yeah.
But I will always make contact with you.
Right. Okay.
And Gemma will always make contact with my client as she's walking past. It matters.
So do you think even like we had a conversation on this podcast around how the behaviour that you model yourself with, do you think that's, you know, part of your success over the last 40 years of having salons and being a trainer, is that people then see the behaviours that you and then go model that, because they go, actually, that's the impact. They can see the impact you're having on others and go, actually, if I model that and behave similar to what David, obviously with their own little nuances and styles.
And some are as confident.
Yeah.
But they still do it.
Okay.
They still do it.
Is that because they see you doing it?
Yeah.
Okay. And then it's encouraged?
They've worked at other salons.
Okay.
Where the boss doesn't care.
Yeah.
Or the clients don't care.
Yeah.
But it's because maybe the boss doesn't care.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. And I do, and I think that is...
I mean, I moved accountants 7 or 8 years ago. And the accountants were very stern before the previous ones.
Yeah.
You went in and you felt like a divvy,
Okay.
a thicko, and no music or whatever. But these accountants are so friendly,
Yeah.
and they've got comfortable space while you're waiting, very welcoming. You know, would you like a coffee while you're waiting?
Yeah.
Alex is not going to be long, but completely different. And that's the way it should be, whether you're a hairdresser, accountant, whatever. If you're public facing,
Yeah.
you should be looking after them
Yeah.
and soften it.
And also, I think with the way that the world is moving in technology, and you know, we're not going to go down the path of AI, but where we are moving in technology, certainly, and automation, you know, actually when we are human to human facing,
Yeah,
you know, they're probably even going to be more important in it, because it's going to make people human to human experiences more special. Is kind of what you're saying that you've done consistently, isn't it? And when you put your eye off doing that, where
and
less
it's
good.
funny, when I learned hairdressing, you weren't supposed to talk about religion
Okay,
or sex.
right.
You know,
Is that still the rule?
yeah.
Okay, good.
But once you get more experience, you
Yeah.
know, I've got a client who I started doing when I was 16,
Right,
and she's 11 when I started cutting her hair,
right.
and she still comes,
Brilliant.
you know, and we've been through a lot together.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I think it is, but it is a relationship, isn't it? And I think
Yeah.
that's the things. And you know, one of the things I've certainly picked up today, and it's been a really good conversation, is the fact that I think that's been a really interesting part of your career, is the relationships that you've made, and the relationships that you've still got that have stuck. And I think that says an awful lot about who you are.
Yeah, and you know, I've met people all over the world, and we're not in touch all the time.
Yeah.
But you get the odd text.
Yeah.
And I send the odd text, you know, if they come up on Instagram or, you know. So it is about that, making a bit of effort.
I like that. And that's the, you know, that unlocking human potential piece that is so passionate to me. I think one of the things that you've...
And the other thing is, I like seeing one of the stylists get a new car.
Okay.
And better car.
So you get a buzz from watching somebody else become successful?
Yeah,
I love that.
in the business.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And going on holidays somewhere nice.
Yeah.
You know, or them coming in and saying, my husband wants to meet you.
Okay.
And then he put Gina lights out. No. But it's nice that, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I think so. But again, I think that is... You know, when you genuinely care about the outcome in your staff, then actually watching them become successful, if that is lights a fire inside of you, then it obviously comes across to them, and which is the reason why they're with you so long.
Yeah.
So kind of bringing it back to our advice, because I think, like I said at the start, I think it's really important that, you know, I mean, flipping it, there's a million insights that I've taken from today, and it's been fantastic. So just then, for people listening, they don't have to be a hairstylist. They could be anywhere in their career. They could be in an organisation that's looking to breed. So it could be, I want to open my own shop or my own start, or open my own business, or they could be in leadership and looking to grow and develop. So they might have one business and they're looking to expand. You know, just looking back in the last 40 years of your kind of business career, what would be 3 practical things that people could just start with today to kind of improve?
I think you've got to start with what you want out of it.
Okay.
So I wanted a nice house.
Yeah.
And a nice car.
Yeah.
If you start that in the middle.
Yeah.
And then go off and decide how you're going to get there.
Yeah.
And find a skill that you like.
Yeah.
And then practice that skill a lot. And then make it that 20%. And when you get a client, whether it's physio, haircutter, lawyer, whatever, make that 80% really important, and make the experience great for the client.
So the things I took from there is, 1, make sure you set yourself a goal. So give you something that's aspirational to hit so you can do it. 2, follow your energy and the passion of something you're interested in.
Yeah.
And then once you're in that, think about, how's the best way to make the client or the other person, your customer or whatever, as special as possible.
And also doing it slightly differently.
Oof, that's a challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, but less formal, I think.
Okay.
You can still have a desk, but you could have music or you could whatever.
Yeah, and again, there's been a lot of that in the food industry, hasn't there?
Yeah.
It's like looking at going, okay, they're doing that really, really well. What is it they're doing less well? Actually, we'll do well at that, so we look different from them.
Yeah.
No, I really like that. And just thinking about. So, what one principle that you wish every leader understood?
I used to do seminars, and people would say to me, I'd say to them, what is the most important part of your business?
Yeah.
Remember, it's hairdressing. And they'd say the client.
Okay.
I'd say, no, it's your team.
Right.
You look after your team, encourage them, and they will look after your clients 100%.
Love that.
So it's team.
Team, definitely, and looking after them. I think that's kind of
creating opportunities, training, and stuff.
No, I love that. I think it's something that sometimes, I'm not saying it's overlooked. I'm sure everyone listening who's a leader will say, "Yeah, we look after our team."
Yeah.
My caveat is, how do you know? The fact that you're looking after them because you've seen them successful. That might be the new car they've got or the new holiday. Yeah. It is partly down to them, but also part of the environment you've created for them to flourish in. I love that. So I guess some of these insights have been good. What actions could people be taking? So, from the kind of conversations that we've had, what actions could we kind of encourage people listening now to just be taking based on your experience?
Well, I think, again, coming back to training, you could have a 2-hour session, on that 80% rule.
Yeah.
And, you can expand that in many ways,
Okay.
I think so.
So having a look at...
customer care.
Just having a look at what we're doing.
Because customer care is not necessarily the product.
Yeah.
It's said that product is good.
Yeah.
Customer care is the way you present it.
Okay.
From the bottom to the top.
So maybe one of the actions then from that is just take some time to reflect and review on how we are engaging with our clients and our customers, and what improvements that could be taken.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So just to wrap it all up, so if those people want to follow you and maybe follow your journey of what you're doing, I know your son is raising money for motor neuron disease.
Yeah.
Where can people, and we'll stick this all in the show notes, so where can people kind of follow you, reach out to you, or support the...
Instagram is the best
Instagram,
one.
yeah.
We've got Facebook as well.
Yeah.
David Thomas Hair.
Yeah.
And we've also got a website.
Okay.
But Instagram is a good place.
So come and follow you on Instagram. I'll put the link in the thing.
If they want me to follow them, send me a message and I'll follow them.
Brilliant. And if they want to kind of learn about is it Matt that's running?
Yeah.
For it? So we can follow him, and if people want to donate towards...
Yeah, there's a link.
We can do... I'll put all those links in. That's great. Yeah. So I've got the standard question. So what are you working on next? Go on.
Celebration of 40 years.
Yeah.
So we're going to create not a film, but like pictures and stuff.
Okay.
And it's going to be interesting.
Bit of a biography.
Yeah. Including the team as well.
Okay.
And clients.
Bringing them all together?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And also an event.
Yeah.
An evening event which will make money for motor neurons.
Perfect.
And it's not going to be a ball, because I've done loads of balls. It's going to be casual and nice, fun.
Something I can attend then, I don't have to put my tux on.
You need a wig. I've got a red one.
I've actually got a tux. Yeah, I have. Yeah, smart one as well. So, just final then, what one challenge would you set our audience?
one challenge, I think, up your customer service.
Okay.
Absolutely. Whatever you've got, you can improve it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It might be new coffee machine
Yeah.
or whatever. Just up your customer service. And make sure your team know about it.
Yeah.
Don't be hard on the team. Just be fun. Say, look, I've had a great idea. Want to have brandy in the morning.
Half 7. Yeah. Right.
But
Quality brandy though.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But definitely work on improving customer service.
No, I love that. And again, lastly, just for me, is there anything else you want to share with the listeners?
No, I think you've been good.
Thank you.
Interview.
No, I really appreciate it.
I've enjoyed it. Thank you.
No, me too. It's been really good.
I think the other thing is, the main thing is having the opportunity to make a difference.
I love
make
that.
a difference to clients, and then you will help me to make a difference to these lot.
No, thank you very much.
So nice to see you.
No, I really appreciate your time. Really love that conversation. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.